Shalom, Israel. Shalom. All right, thank you for joining us again for another class here at ISBHPK, Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. I'm Priest Zion Allah. Thank you for joining us again. We're here at we're actually here at 2610 Granby Street out of Norfolk, Virginia. All right, if you're in the area, come on by. We have class from Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. And then we have Sabbath night class on Fridays as well as 7 to 9 p.m. Tomorrow we will be starting the feast, all right, Feast of Tabernacles. So we will not be having class. But again, if you need that class, we got class archived, all right? We have school in Houston, Texas as well. You can go visit that school. The class times are Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Monday and Wednesday is from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. And then the Sabbath day class is going to be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. All right. We have school as well as in San Antonio. So we have them everywhere. All schools are going to be holding the feast. So get with us if you're in those areas, and we'll give you the information regarding that. But the school in San Antonio is there as well. The address is on the screen. All right. They have class Monday through Saturday. All right. From 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. So check the brothers out there. We have these schools for a reason. But again, Feast of Tabernacles, it starts this Friday. So it starts tomorrow, sundown. All right, so we're going to be feasting with brothers and sisters. If you're in the area, come on out. We're going to be here at the school. If it changes, we'll definitely let it be known. But if you do want to come, please hit us up. Hit up the priest, Kazakia or Quadazop, and we'll definitely be able to get you to the right place. In Houston, they're going to be having a feast as well. But Friday, sundown, the feast will be all the way till next week, Friday, sundown. All right, so we're going to be doing this in brotherly love, unity, and endeavoring to keep brotherhood and sisterhood, man. And this is beautiful because we have our own high holy days rather than holidays. We have our own days that the Most High gave us to rejoice. And think about it. A lot of these holidays in the world is what, one day, so they're not even, a week long where you're feasting every day or every other day with brothers and sisters in unity. So it's a beautiful thing. But again, it starts Friday and it ends next Friday as well. For those with kids class, if you have kids, we have a kids channel, ISBHPK Kids on YouTube, and you can catch all their saved videos on there for the kids. As well, on Saturday, Sabbath class, at 2 p.m., we're having children's class, all right? So bring your children out if you're in Houston area. Bring them through for that children's class out there, and where the children can get edified, all right? We have Brother Mashaba. Brother Mashaba has a Blog Talk Radio, and this is going to be every Tuesday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m., and this brother's been putting in work for years, and it's a lot of edification, a lot of wisdom on that channel, a lot of videos that go from eons, and I advise everybody to check that out. blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba, and that's going to be Mashahba. All right, Israel wear. You see us with our headbands, our jackets fringed out. Listen, the sisters put in good work, man. Armbands, your fringe shirts, fringe pants. The sisters have dedicated in learning different styles, different techniques. So please hit them up on Facebook at Everything's Israel Wear, and they'll be able to take your order. They'll be able to go ahead and make you something specific that you want for your wife, purses, dresses, whatever it might be. They're there to do that. Again, that is Everything Israel Wear at Facebook. If you need to contact any priest, we have Priest Kazakia. His number is going to be 281-707-2737. Again, his number is going to be 281-707-2737. And then we have Priest Quatazop. His number is going to be 303-557-8979 for Priest Quatazop. 303-557-8979. If you have any other concerns or questions and you don't have a phone, hit us up via email, isbhpk@isbhpk.org. All right. And again, we greatly appreciate the donations. Keep sending them. Again, we need some street speaking equipment if possible. If anybody knows any DJ hookups or electronic hookups, please send them through. Listen, the lights, the rent, we greatly appreciate those that have been sending. If you can send books, Bibles, apocryphers, pens, pads, they're needed. All right. So, but again, if you can't give, listen, we understand, but we ask you to keep watching, keep getting edified, because this is what it's for. It's for our people and spreading this word to the four corners. All right. So with that, we're going to open it up for any questions. If anybody has any questions, and if not, we're going to go into class. We'll wait and let the brothers and sisters sign on. Yep. Fun field class today.
Everybody should have, when y'all come to class, y'all should have pen, paper, pencil, whatever. We supply it to write down what we're going over in class. Nobody should be sitting in class and not writing down what we're going over.
All right.
That's the problem with a lot of brothers, is that you're not writing nothing down, so you don't have any notes to go back to and study. Topic and points to go back and study.
The cutoff?
What?
That's good. All right, we're going to wait a little bit longer. And if not, we got 13 people on. Shalom, everybody. I know you're signing off. If you have any questions, you can send them through. All right, because if not, right into this meaty class.
You remind them about the High Holy Day?
Yes, sir.
That we're not going to, we might not be having class.
Yes. Yeah, so just another reminder regarding the High Holy Days, even next week, that Feast of Tabernacles runs from Friday sundown all the way to the next Friday sundown. So we will not be holding class due to the feast.
We're trying to work out our days right now, but because Dave Rogers was asking, we might not be, we're not sure if we're going to have any class days. I mean, because the thing is that brothers get off of work late, and to partake in the feast, it takes, if we don't do it at night, then nobody's going to be able to be there. Yeah, so we have to do it during these times.
Right. All right, so no questions. You just go right into it?
Yes.
All right, now. So the class for this evening is going to be called A Few Brave Men. We're going into the Bible and seeing a lot of our, patriarchs, but there's a lot of names in the book that haven't really been, brought out a lot, especially dealing with the judges, the deliverers, individuals that did a lot of good work. And their names in the book, but we really don't know too much about them. But we're going to do a deeper look at the characteristics of these individuals and see what allowed them and what gave them this definition of being brave, being valiant. The first scripture I want to go to is Baruch chapter 3 and verse 7. But just showing that, these men were sent for a reason. These men, these deliverers, these brave men, the Most High instilled something in these men for a purpose. And even with ourselves, we could look at ourselves and be like, dang, what's my purpose? Yeah, the Most High wants to use you. You may think that you're not adequate or you don't have the best speech or you may move a certain way, but the Most High uses anything with a willing, a humble, and a contrite spirit. If you can give me Baruch chapter 3 and verse 7. And we're just going off just to give you a little synopsis or a beginning and understanding why these men did what they did. And even the time frame that they were in, because the times are almost the same, as we'll read. And we're going to read where Baruch chapter 3 and verse 7. Just going about, these deliverers, these judges, these brave men. Go ahead, read where you at.
Baruch chapter 3, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
And for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts.
Right, we're at Baruch chapter 3 and verse 7. Go ahead.
To the intent that we should call upon thy name and praise thee in our captivity.
Yeah, so the Most High is showing us, because we already understand Deuteronomy 28, our people's wicked, and, we are in captivity, but the Most High put us in that position for a reason. The Most High had us in captivity, not just to have us in captivity. No, he wanted us to call upon his name. He wanted us to look at our faults and understand that, listen, I got to correct myself. I got to call on my true power. See, but the Most High had everything how he wanted it to be. It's beautiful. We got to look at things a little bit different. Even with the men that he used to save us specifically, who were these men and how did they move? But this was one of the reasons why deliverers had to be sent. We were in captivity. And what did the people of Israel do? Read that again.
To the intent that we should call upon thy name.
Yeah, the Most High wanted us to call upon. That was the intent. The Most High put Israel into captivity, slavery, beat us through the slave trade, threw us off boats. We got slaughtered in our own homeland for the intent for us to call upon him. The Most High was going to hear us, but he wanted us to speak it out. He wanted us to talk. Read.
And praise thee in our captivity, for we have called to mind all the iniquity of our forefathers that have sinned before thee.
Yeah, that's what the Most High wanted you to acknowledge him, man. He wanted you to acknowledge him, but he was going to send something. He was going to send you help because you called upon him, but he wasn't going to do it until you called. Read.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us.
Yeah, we're yet in our captivity. Think about it. We're still there now. And as we go in deeper, we're going to see why we're still here. But why the Most High is continuing to give us these men of valor, these brave characteristics and understanding him sending our deliverers, man. But it says that we're yet in our captivity. Read.
Where thou hast scattered us.
Right.
For a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers which departed from the Lord our power.
Oh, yeah, you got to read that.
Let me throw this one in there, just because, the point of the topic is just to remind brothers and sisters, like, it ain't going to be everybody. It ain't going to be all Israelites. The Most High has only chose 144,000. And what these 144,000 were going to have to go through and have to fight through to be the ones that throw it on their back.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of brothers and sisters don't want to. You got 1/3. You got 1/3. But the 1/3 ain't going to sit up there on the throne with Yahweh Shai.
Oh, no.
They're going to be they're going to be the people that come into the kingdom. Right? There's going to be righteous and brothers and sisters that come in, that partake in the kingdom, but they're not going to get what the 12 apostles are going to get. Right. And we talk about this a lot. They're not going to get those rewards to sit on 12 thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel, because only, as you see, as he goes through these men, only during the period of these different times, there was only certain men that stepped up. So the other men you can really, the other men and women, you couldn't really talk about them because they weren't known. Right? For some reason I popped on Netflix, Troy. I like the beginning of that when Achilles kills Boagrius. Right. But, the kid comes up to him on the horse and says, wow, I would never want to fight the guy you're finna fight. He said, that's why your name is never going to be known. Ooh, yeah. And that's what we have to understand about Israel. We try to force people to be what they don't want to be. And it can't be that. You know what I mean? You can't force a brother or a sister to be something they don't want to be. Some of them just want to be sitting in the seats. Right. You know what I mean? Some of them just want to give alms and tithes. Some of them just want to, support, in those ways.
Right.
But go to, what is it, Romans?
Yes.
Go to Romans. Because when you said you were going over this chapter, I was like, man, Romans 11. 11. You got one of these? Okay. Yeah. Hold it so it won't move, the camera, and then plug it in. Don't move it. It can't reach? No. Okay. All right. Yeah, here, do it. Right. We're going to go to, you know what? Romans 11. You know what? We're going to read from Romans 11 and 1. Go ahead, plug it in. Romans 11, verse 1. Read that. Romans 11 and 1. Go ahead.
Romans chapter 11, verse 1.
Go ahead.
I say then, that the Most High cast away his people. God forbid.
Right.
For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham.
And that's what this class is about. That the Most High ain't going to cast away Israel. The Most High is not going to forget us. And that's what he did. He sent certain men, certain women to show us. Yeah, we got cowards. You got cowards in Israel. You got weak in Israel. You got, the obviously the wicked ain't going to be a part of none of this. But you got cats that can't step up into the plate. Can't step up to the plate. They're not going to go through the fiery trials. They're not going to go through Ecclesiasticus 2. Prepare thyself for temptation. When you come to the Lord, they're going to be wavery till Christ come back, doubtful. And then in the end, they're going to, their faith might pop in there and see, oh, wow, I should have believed more consistently. But the Most High still got to do his job.
Right.
It can't ride on the tail of the ones that, you don't need a camp brothers. Right. If it, like we keep saying, I would have never got this if there was no brother that taught my father on the street. You know what I mean? And how did they do that? They did that through coming together, unity, like it says in Romans and Corinthians and the Philippians and the Thessalonians. Mm-hmm. Those bodies of churches that got together and spread the word. We would have never got it. So it can't rely on them. You know what I mean? If it relied on them, they'd be at home talking about, oh, I don't need to be around nobody. So I don't need to have no brotherhood. I don't need to have no unity. I don't need to have no gathering. I don't really need to have none of that. Bruh, if it relied on them, this truth will be nowhere where it is.
Oh, yeah.
But it's on the tail of certain men, like you're going to show, men and women, let me say that stepped up to the plate and did what Christ said. They laid down their lives. Right? Okay. Go ahead.
Of the tribe of Benjamin.
Right. So Paul is letting you know, the Most High he didn't do away with the nation. He didn't do away with our people. Right? Even though it looks like it, because when we look out there, when we look at how many Hebrew Israelites they are, and you look at how many brothers and sisters that don't got the knowledge, when you look at the mass multitude of the wicked that don't care, you're almost like, damn.
When is this ever going to end?
Yeah, when is this going to end? You're like, dang. When are we going to really get out of here? But the Most High, it's in the Most High's time. He got to raise the elect, the ones that want to do it. Go ahead.
Verse 2.
Uh-huh.
The Most High hath not cast away his people, which he foreknew.
Go ahead.
Wot ye not that what the scripture said of Elias?
Right.
He made an intercession to the Most High against Israel.
Right.
Saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophets.
Right. And why was intercession need to be made? Because you didn't have a lot of brothers and sisters stepping up. He's looking around and saying, man, the prophets are dead. Yep. Where are the prophets? Where's the man, the men, the women, the righteous men at this time standing up for the Most High? Right? So Elijah was tripping. He was like, wait a minute, I'm the only one left. And a lot of times, what is your mentality? It's like you out of like 50 of your family members. Then it almost, not all the time, but it almost makes you question and be like, well, then am I in the truth? But then you sit back and you look at those scriptures and you be like, unless I'm dumb, deaf, and blind, there's no way I can get past this. You see what I'm saying? And you realize what we're going over now is that it was like that all the time. In Mesopotamia, it was one man.
Yep.
Right? Starting from the beginning, it was one man. Abraham. And the Most High said, I'm going to choose this cat. And before that, one man. You know what I mean? Just, or two. Not a lot. Go ahead.
And dig down thine altars, and I am left alone.
Yeah, and that's what he's thinking. He's thinking, man, is there any real brothers out there left? Right? I've been saying it, and we pray it all the time after every class. The harvest is, Christ said out of his own mouth, the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Why? Because yes, everybody's going to come for the fish. Oh, brothers and sisters going to eat. Oh, they make sure they tummy get filled, thick. You know what I mean? But how many of those men and women want to step up and actually lose their life for Yahweh Shai? Only 144,000. Only 144,000 men. You see that? Not everybody. Go ahead.
And they seek my life.
Right.
But what said the answer of the Most High to him?
Right.
I have reserved to myself 7,000 men.
Yeah.
Who have not bowed the knee to the image of all.
Right. So he's reminding Israel, man, that listen, he's reminding the prophets, he's reminding us that there's a certain amount of chosen men that are not going to bow to the devil. The devil is not welcome here.
Not giving in.
Right. As for me and my house, we shall serve the Lord. But that's small portions. Yeah. That's why Christ said, one from a family, one from a field. What like it's like rare. It's not everybody. Because the cowards, they're not ready to go through this. The husbandmen, the men wives, they're not going to go through this. Go ahead.
Even so, then at this present time, also there is a remnant according to the election of grace.
And that's what he's going through. He's going through the remnant. He's going through the remnant of men that wanted to step up. He's going to the remnant of women that wanted to step up and actually have a name and make a name for themselves and for their nation.
Okay.
Right? Yep. But what did those men know? We're going to see, man, what did these men know? They knew what you read it in Judith, right? Our favorite scripture in Judith.
Oh, we can get it right now.
Right. Go ahead, get that one.
Judith chapter 8.
Yeah.
Verse 24.
This is what those men know.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Judith chapter 8 and verse 24.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what gives you drive though too, man, because like you said, everybody's not going to be that one that steps up.
Yeah.
But if the Most High put that spirit upon you, you know what you got to do? Listen, step up. You get you that knowledge.
A lot of cats get angry though. A lot of cats get angry that men get this knowledge and they're unthankful, and they won't step in and lay their brick and help. But you can't get angry.
Right.
We got to be clear-minded to say, listen, the Most High ain't chose everybody.
Huh?
You know, the Most High didn't do that. So where you at? Go ahead.
Judah chapter 8, verse 24.
Go ahead.
Now therefore, O brethren, let us show an example to our brethren.
And that's what it's about. It's about standing up and being that example, because everybody's not going to be the starter to start the fight, the starter to start the standard. Let us be an example. Somebody has to be the example, because it's beautiful, because even with our forefathers that we're going to go through in these men and women is that they had examples to look at as well. You know, but they were amongst a crooked and perverse generation, but they still held on to the example that they saw. How much more ourselves with our kids, brothers around us, they look at us. Well, what kind of example we gonna be? We're gonna be that positive brother, that you know, that spiritually focused brother. Or we're gonna be the one that's like, that's not what I want to be. That ain't the standard.
Yep.
You know, but this is what it's saying right here. Let us show an example. Read.
Because their hearts depend on us.
It does. Our brothers and sisters in the world, they depend on us, man.
Can I take it 2 classes back?
Please.
But think about it. Who cares? When you read that scripture,
Right.
what brother's thinking, oh man, my example, people are looking at that.
It matters.
It matters. A lot of cats are like, they come to the truth and they in themselves. They're like, listen, I'm here, bruh, I'm not worried about none of that. I'm worried about me still. And they still haven't graduated to, wait a minute. Okay, I got me now. I got the knowledge. I know who I am. I'm stronger. I ain't smoking weed. I ain't beating my woman. I'm stronger now. Damn, this is about my nation. It's supposed to be a transition. It don't supposed to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years later. You're still here about, well, what about me? What about, you know what I mean? What about me? When are we going to come to this?
Yeah.
But everybody won't come to this. Why? Because there's too many cowards, weak men and women that won't step up to it. So the strong has to bear the infirmities of the weak. We're going to have to put them on our back. We're going to have to do like these men he's going to show you. Go ahead.
And the sanctuary,
right,
and the house, and the altar rest upon us.
That's basically everything. You're not expecting anything. It says that the sanctuary, the house, the altar rest upon us. But these individuals were that example, and they wanted to hold that because they understand what their end's going to be. The Most High is going to bless them for that because that's the sacrifice, but it's bigger than us. Read.
Moreover, let us give thanks to the Lord our power, which trieth us, even as he did our fathers.
And that's just it on that one, but just showing that. We're going to come back to this Judith, though, too, but just showing that these brothers and sisters we're about to read, they wanted to be that example. We should be that example. Go back to that Baruch. Baruch chapter 3 and verse 8. Baruch chapter 3 and verse 8. And just seeing why we needed deliverers, man.
Yeah.
Why we needed that. Because we had to have that example. Listen, brothers, get up. Get up and move.
Yeah.
You know, who's going to rouse them up? Who's going to turn that fire underneath Jake? The northern kingdom, the southern kingdom. The Most High knew what our people needed, man. Because, you know, our people was lazy, as we're going to read. Our people was lazy. They wanted to do what they wanted to do. They wanted to play around and dabble in every form of doctrine and you know, everything that was around us, as we're going to read. But finish where you at.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
We're in our captivity. Come on.
Where thou hast scattered us.
Right.
For a reproach and a curse.
Yes, for a reproach and a curse for us to wake the hell up. For us to be like, this ain't life. We can't be here, man. My life must be better than this. But our people, they don't think that. They don't see that. They see the PlayStation games. They see, let me walk the beach and, I want to go to the park with my boo. It ain't wrong with that. But that's not priorities, man. You know, all that extracurricular, that ain't the priorities. Our priorities is getting our nation. Somebody has to sacrifice themselves for us to all come up.
Well, once again, they're not looking at it and saying, wait a minute, I had 30 years of my life to walk the beach with my boo.
Right.
Get drunk, whoremonger, backbite, doubt, be weak. The Most High has called me to the new man.
Oh, yeah. He's
called me to the new man, the man of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And a lot of people, they don't see the transitioning.
Right.
You know, but that's why it says, if I can get one more just on this one, Ecclesiastes 37 and 11. You got that one?
No. Oh, no, I don't think so.
Ecclesiastes 37 and 11. I don't want to snatch them out of Ecclesiastes 37 and 11 here.
No. That was nasty.
Go ahead, read that. What is that?
Study Bible.
Oh, okay. Ecclesiastes 37 and 11. And this is why, even this topic, when we look at this men, like, you got to ask yourself, what characteristics, what valuable things you're going to get from these men and their mind state, their backbone, how they did things, right? Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 37, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
Neither consult with a woman, touching her of whom she is jealous.
Right.
Neither with a coward in matters of war.
Neither with a coward in the matters of war. Like, so what? This ain't for the cowards. This ain't for the cats that's lazy. This ain't for the cats that's still in love with America. This ain't for those cats. These are the ones that really want to step outside and become the man that the Most High is creating us to be, and moving in perfection, dying for our nation, laying our life down like Yahweh Shai did.
Oh yeah, because it takes drive, determination.
There you go.
Consistency.
There you go.
You know, these are attributes, and as we read, you got to have that dealing with Israelites.
Yeah, yeah.
Israel's sick. Listen, Christ said he didn't call the whole but the sick, man. The whole need not a physician. You know, so we're dealing with individuals that have issues. Keep reading where you at.
Nor with a merchant concerning exchange.
All right,
that's it on that. Go back to that Baruch 3 and 8. We're going to finish this.
Yeah.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity with eyes scattered us, for a reproach and a curse.
Right.
And to be subject to payments.
To be what?
Subject to payments.
See, when we're in captivity, we're subject to payments, man. From our faults, our sins. But the Most High heard us cry. And that's why he sent these men, man, to be examples and to be deliverers of us. For us to see what the standard is. That how I was moving, how I was thinking wasn't correct. Yeah. This man right here that's shining, that I'm blessing with this strength. That's what you should be. Keep reading.
According to all the iniquities of our fathers.
Yeah, all the iniquities of our fathers, man. We taking everything down. Read.
Which departed from the Lord our power.
And that's what it was about. Our people departed from the Most High. Judges 2 and 6. And we're going to get into this. I'm setting the scene right now for y'all. Judges 2 and 6. I'm about to set the scene to let you see what these men and women were dealing with Israel. This is the time after Moses. But I'm going to hit a little bit of Moses as well because he was a deliverer. You know, most people, they don't understand or they're not knowledgeable about the captivities that our people was in. We were in more captivities than just under the Egyptians, than just under the Assyrians. We were in more captivity than just Rome. We had other little small captivities as well. But it shows the foolishness of our people's mind states and how long those mind states lasted. And so the Most High had to, listen, I hear you crying again. Let me send something for you. Let me send a deliverer. Let me raise somebody up for you. On my standard, not your standard, because your standard got you in here looking sick. With handcuffs on your wrists, your ankles. That's how you walking around, man. Stiff. No life. But again, we're going back in Judges 2 and verse 6 just to give you the setting of what these men and women were dealing with, the mindset of Israel. Go ahead. Read where you at.
Judges 2 verse 6. And when Joshua had let the people go, the children of Israel went every man unto his inheritance.
Right, because obviously they went into the land. They got their land, right? Read.
To possess the land.
Come on.
And the people served the Lord all the days of Joshua.
It says the people served the Lord all the days of Joshua. We're gonna read this kind of slow, clear, and understand what's going on. They served the Lord with Joshua, because why? Joshua was an example of what the Most High wanted. Joshua was the standard of what the people should mimic, what they should reflect. It says that they served the Lord. Read.
In all the days of the elders that outlived Joshua.
And not only because Joshua was there, but it says, as the leader is, so as his officers are, right? Joshua was on point with the Most High's law-abiding, being that example. Even his underlings were. It says even those after Joshua followed the law. Read.
Who had seen all the great works of the Lord.
And that's what it was about. See, our people, they saw the great works of the Most High. That's why they was a believer, man. The thing about it is that the Most High does that in our life. He's doing that daily, but we don't recognize it though. We got to have like a big, missile come stop right in front of your face and then fall down and go back and not blow up. We ain't getting that. You're getting the small things where you got put over by the police and he didn't pull you out because you had a ticket or a warrant. You know what I'm saying? He didn't beat you up. You got in a car accident rather than getting totally blindsided, your whole car being knocked off. You got a little scratch. Listen, that is something that the Most High worked. It wasn't your time. But it says that our forefathers saw the works of the Most High. Read.
That he did for Israel.
Right.
And Joshua the son of Nun.
Hold on, that he did for what?
Israel.
Just want to bring that out because it's a lot through the Bible. He did it for Israel. Read.
And Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died, being 110 years old.
Yeah, so Joshua died at 110 years old. Read.
And they buried him in the border of the inheritance and Timnath-Heres, in the mount of Ephraim, on the north side of the hills of Gaash.
Right, come on.
And also all the generations were gathered unto their fathers, and there arose another generation.
So it's showing that all the generations in the time of Joshua and his elders, those under, or not elders, but his men underneath him, his officers, his generals, that there rose up another nation. So after that nation that knew the Most High, that saw his works, now there's another nation that came up that didn't know the Most High. Read.
Arose another generation after them, which knew not the Lord.
Yeah, they didn't know the Lord. But it's like, you still didn't recognize that from your forefathers? You didn't hear that? They didn't recognize. Read.
Nor yet the works which he had done for Israel.
Yeah, nor the works. But it's like, you didn't hear about how we got into the land? You didn't hear how we came out of Egypt? This was another generation. Read.
And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord.
They did what?
Evil in the sight of the Lord.
Here we go again. Here we go again. Where you at?
Judges 2:11.
Yeah. They did evil in the sight of the Lord, man. They done forgot. Read.
And served Baalim.
Yeah, serve Balaam, man. And it's the same thing with our people now. We don't forgot about the Most High. We don't forgot what he did for us. We don't forgot what he did for our forefathers. We're doing the same thing. We're serving Balaam. Balaam. Read. It was actually a Canaanite god. Read.
Verse 12. And they forsook the Lord power of their fathers.
Right.
Which brought them out of the land of Egypt.
And you know what's so funny, even dealing with that, I'm not trying to jump on it, but when you deal with Balaam, it's like the rain, the storm god. You deal with Ashtaroth. Bro, our people is literally dealing with that right now. Our present day is just like that. Like I said last class, tarot cards, you want to get your yogi beads and yoni beads, and you trying to get all superstitious. Our people is still worshiping these guys, man. They're literally still holding on like that's their safety. But that's why they're in a position, our people's in a position that we're in. Because we forgot about the Most High. We forgot about what brought us on slave ships, man. But that's why we're here to teach our people the truth. Read.
Which brought them out of the land of Egypt.
Come on.
And followed other gods.
Right.
Of the gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them.
Yeah, see, there was other nations around us. The Most High knows exactly what he's doing. There was other nations around us that he put there to see what we were going to do. I want to see if y'all still remember me, if y'all still remember my statutes and judgments that I gave you, to see exactly, are you going to follow? You got all these people around about with their different philosophies. You got all these people wanting to do what they want to do, but are you going to stick to what the Most High wants you to do? Are we going to stick to what the Most High gave us? The statutes, the commandments, the way of life. Keep reading.
And provoked the Lord to anger.
Yeah, we provoked the Most High to anger. Read.
And they forsook the Lord and served Baal and Ashtaroth.
Right. We forsook the Most High and worshipped Baal and Ashtaroth. Read.
And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel.
Come on.
And he delivered them into the hands of the spoilers.
Yeah, so now the Most High delivered us into our hands of our spoilers. Remember, I'm just throwing the setting down just to show you where these men came from, what they came up out of. The Most High gave us to the spoilers for our actions. Y'all got to ask yourself, man, when things starting to mess up around you, are you abiding in the Most High? Are you doing what you're supposed to do? Because the Most High said he gave them up to the spoilers. Read.
That spoiled them. And he sold them into the hands of their enemies.
It says he sold them. The Most High allowed that. The Most High allows individuals to touch Israel, man, when they're when they're contrary to him, when they have that forward mind, when they're doing an ulterior motive than what the Most High wants. Read.
Round about. So that they could not any longer stand before their enemies.
Read.
Whithersoever they went out, the hand of the Lord was against them for evil.
Come on.
As the Lord had said, and as the Lord had sworn unto them, and they were greatly distressed.
Right.
Nevertheless, the Lord raised up judges, which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them.
See, and that's what it's about. The Most High rose up judges, man. He put his spirit on individuals to show Israel, listen, let me get you up out of this condition, but this is the standard. Let me bring back to your memory what it is to be a child of the Most High, what it is to be Yasharallah, what it is to be a nation of morality, man. Knowing how to deal the right way. He had to raise up judges. And when you deal with this word judge, this is the definition of the word judge, man. It says, we're not judges in the usual sense of term, but were heads or chiefs of the Israelites. It says raised up on extraditionary occasions. There was extraditionary occasions that had to happen for these men to be brought up. Because our people was in captivity. The Most High gave our people up due to their infidelity, due for their lack of care and love for him. He had to raise these individuals up. It says, who directed and ruled the nation with sovereign power, administrated justice. Our people forgot, man. We got a short memory.
Yeah.
We forget what the Most High do for us.
Right. But what did it take? What type of man, what type of person did it take? Did it take 1,000,000, 1,000? A lot of times, man, it took a very few good men.
Yep. 2, 1.
Yeah. It only took a few good men, and that's what this is about. Is we got to stop tripping out about who's not doing the work. I never cared about that. I just cared about what I was doing. Everybody else, you doing it with us? Let's go.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if not, you start getting caught up into men. You start men pleasing. Then your fire, your zeal starts to diminish. Look at our forefathers, man. It didn't take a lot of men. It took 1 or 2 that the Most High sparked up that everybody else followed. And that's what, if we think like that, then individually we will unite, right? And then the numbers will grow in the right mind state. But if not, it's just going to be, I'm lazy, I'm slothful, I'm weak, I got excuses, I don't want to do, I want to make it easy and convenient on me because that's how the truth is supposed to be. This ain't supposed to be convenient. It is not supposed to be easy. Go to Matthews real quick. Let me just, you mind if I throw this in?
No.
Right. Go to Matthews. I just had it too. Man. You can go to one, it's actually the one in it's in Timothy's. Go to Timothy's. Well, I'm sorry. Matthew 16:25. There's another one too. But get that Matthew 16:25. Real quick. Read that.
Matthew chapter 16, verse 25.
Go ahead.
For whosoever will save his life shall lose it.
Right.
And whosoever will lose his life,
Right. Like I've been doing lately. I've been asking the question instead of pushing it on brothers and sisters. I'm asking who's ready to lose their life. Right. Like everybody ain't in that mode. Everybody's not in the mode of I'm ready to lose my life for the Most High.
Right.
I'm gonna give up what I'm doing for the Most High. Like my whole life is gonna be geared towards the will and service of the Most High. Some people, they fix and maneuver things to where the Most High can be fit in.
Right.
You know what I mean? And some are saying, no, this is my life. Everything else is secondary. Right? There's a whole different, like when you look at the apostles, when you look at the Moseses, the Abrahams, Joseph, their sacrifice was a greater sacrifice.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to take. It's going to take a greater sacrifice.
You even think about even Abraham. Just even about giving up Isaac.
Yeah.
Killing his son. How much more?
But I'm glad you said that because he didn't require that from everybody.
True.
You know what I mean? Now, when we teach that, the calling, the horns go out to all the men's mind that lights up and sparks, right? Okay. But that ain't meant for everybody. Because everybody ain't going to step up to that plate. Yeah. Everybody ain't going to lay down their life or get ready to sacrifice things in their life.
Right, because when we go into these men,
yeah,
they're not having high holy councils about coming together and defeating these nations.
Yeah.
It was one man.
Right.
It was a man and female coming together.
Right.
In the spirit of the Most High. The Most High stirred his spirit up, not the whole group.
Yeah, because most likely the whole group, as we see from the nation of Israel, they were going to throw in doubt.
Oh, yeah.
They were going to throw in weakness. And that's what you see from the nation. Is anytime you're telling a man something that's going to make it inconvenient for him, that's when you're going to get the war. Well, why we got to do it that way? Why I got to be like this? Why I got to be like this? Why we can't do it like this? Well, the Most High accepts my service this way. True. But what did Yahweh Shai say? He said the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. Right. Okay, so where you ready to labor at? Where I gave my cup of water last week. You give a prophet a cup of water, you receive a prophet's reward. I did that last week. It's like, okay, that's it don't work like that. This needs to be continually done, right, to build a nation. And I'm gonna say it again. Our ancestors, and a lot of them, some of them fell off. That's just like all men.
Right.
They men fall off, men get weak. But when they were in the work, they gave up to do the work. You've seen these cats. And that's what you see now on a lot of brothers that you can see out there. I'm not talking about the vainglory, I'm only doing it for views, or I'm only doing it for seeing for men. We don't know who that is, right? The Most High knows. Okay. I'm talking about the ones that actually is doing it to teach the nation of Israel. You know what I mean? The ones that's doing it, they're out there. Rain, sleet, snow, they out there, right? And I'm not just talking about on video. I'm talking about they're doing it for the nation. And when you get around them, you know they're doing it for the nation. Why? Because they're not the ones making it convenient for them. Well, you know, when I get a chance to, when I got time to, it's like, okay, that's what you want to give, that's fine. But what are we looking for? What is the Most High looking for? What is he looking for?
Everything.
He wants it all. He wants everything.
He deserves it all.
He wants everything. And a lot of people don't want to give that everything.
True.
Go ahead.
Where you at?
Matthew chapter 16, verse 25.
Yeah, that's it on that. Jump to Judges 3:1. Actually, did you finish? 1 second. No, actually, no. My apologies. Go to go back to Acts chapter 7, verse 34. Because what we're gonna do. You already finished Judges? Yeah, so we're going back into one of the deliverers, man. You know, one of our first captivities that we came up out of was Egypt. Who knows how many years we were in Egypt? 430 years to be specific. 430 years we were in Egypt until we start crying to the Most High. Until we start saying that this ain't fair. We want to come back to Yahweh. Who did the Most High send for him?
Moses.
Come on, man. We're going to see exactly what was in Moses just a little bit. I don't want to hit on him too long because we hit on Moses a lot. Give me Acts chapter 7 and verse 34.
Acts chapter 7, verse 34.
Come on.
I have seen the affliction of my people which is in Egypt.
Right.
And I have heard their groaning, and have come down to deliver them.
Right. This is I believe it was an angel speaking, but it's a messenger. The Most High hears the groans of the Israelites. He hears us. And he's like, listen, you know what? I'm going to come down and bring a deliverer to you, man. Read.
And now come, I will send thee into Egypt.
You're talking to Moses. Read.
This Moses whom they refused.
They did what?
Refused.
Why did they refuse Moses? What characteristic did Moses have to where the people were refusing what he was saying? So Moses was dealing with disgruntled people. What'd he do? Niggas. Let me leave y'all alone. Man. Y'all don't want this, man. Let me get up out of here. No. He was on a higher calling. He didn't worry about the faces that the Israelites were giving him. He didn't worry about the snickery comments that was being said behind his back. He was called by the Most High to deliver Egypt, to deliver the Israelites out of Egypt. So my question is, why did they refuse him? What was about him? What was it that they refused?
Well, why do Israelites refuse anything? You know what I mean? Then don't just say, oh, because they wicked.
Right.
Don't just say that, because that's a con. We know that. That's a generalizing of the problem.
Right. Like,
It wasn't just because they were wicked. What made them wicked? What made those Israelites wicked? Y'all know? What made them wicked?
I mean, they just wouldn't want to follow the law. They wanted to do their own thing.
They didn't want to follow the law, but okay, besides the law, right? They were given the law, right?
Right.
Okay, but in the law, did it say in the law to go through what route to go through the wilderness? Huh? Did it say in the law how to set up officers, hundreds, 10,000s? It didn't. That didn't come till later. You know what I mean? To Moses' father-in-law was
Jethro.
like,
Do it
hey,
differently.
this is too much. Right? And then the Most High agreed with that wisdom, right? But all those things set up. See, we look at the story and we're looking at it for face value. We don't see that. Put our people in the middle of that. Those different minds, the different mind states, right? The different emotions and feelings and what they want. It's the same thing now. It's no different.
Nothing new under the sun.
There's nothing new under the sun. It's the same thing. I don't want to do that because I don't like it. I want the easy way, right? I want the easy route. That's too hard. You're making it harder on me in my life, and I want it easy. That's how it is. So Moses had to really drag these people along with mighty, mighty faith. And of course, most of all, the works of the Most High.
Okay.
Let's take out some glorious works. Let's take out the 10 plagues in Egypt.
Yeah.
Take that away. Let's take out the water dividing.
Red Sea. Yeah.
Take that away.
Serpents.
Take out all the plagues. Take out fire by day, pillar fire by night, cloud by day. Take that away. What do you got then? You got just a man leading you. And a lot of times when you go through the scriptures, it wasn't all that greatness that Moses went through. You see that? It wasn't angels and fiery serpents and fire and dividing seas and million. It wasn't like that all the time. So you got to think about, man, what it had to take these hard-headed, stubborn, rebellious people and these one men that was endowed with wisdom and understanding and faith to pull them through. Now you see why the Most High said, move aside, Moses. I'm going to kill everybody. I'm going to kill them all. So this is what we have to look at those stories, man, in a wider mind and mentality instead of looking at it and just like, yeah, they follow the law. They were supposed to follow. It ain't that easy. I wish it was that easy.
More little details in it.
Because we give brother the law all the time. You know what I mean? But it's the details. You know what I mean? Because, you know, if you talk with brothers, they ain't having a problem with eating pork. Shrimp, crab, lobster. You know what I mean? That ain't their problem. Their problem is what? Internal spiritual defects.
Yeah.
Right? That when you point out, right, they're melting. That ego pumps up and they don't want to be told about themselves. That's what it's about. Right? Go ahead.
Keep reading.
Saying,
What's that?
who made thee a ruler and a judge?
Right. Just showing how they refused Moses, saying, who made you a ruler and judge? Israel is horrible, man. Most High done raise this man up, and they still over here talking down upon him, man. Who made you a ruler, Moses, huh? Yo, stuttering Stanley. That's how they hit him? Come on, man. The Most High said, listen, I'm going to choose him. I'm going to choose Moses. There's something within him that y'all got to see. There's something within him that y'all got to mimic and understand that that's the man of the Most High. Yeah. That's the man that I'm choosing to bring these old double-stepping, ungrateful individuals out of Cairo, Egypt. Or out of Egypt at Cairo. Are we selling bottles at the mall? But out of Egypt. Read.
The same did the Most High send to be a ruler and a deliverer.
See, the same that you refused, the Most High sent to be a deliverer. So obviously your spidey senses weren't up. You didn't see what the Most High saw. You weren't discerned that much because you didn't know that Moses was the man. He was the one that was going to save you from all your crying and all your pain if you just followed. Read.
By the hands of the angel which appeared to him in the bush.
Right, jump to, but we're going to go into some characteristics real quick about Moses. Jump to Hebrews 11 and 24. Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 24, just showing what Moses had in him that the Most High loved, man. That he chose him out of all of Israel. And even the thing about Moses was living with Pharaoh. He was living up in there in laps of luxury. Probably had the Bentley on 22s. Probably had a little music in the back. Refrigerator, food, candy, snacks, all that. He had everything. But what did Moses do? What was in Moses' spirit to where he was like, you know what? I'm done with this, man. Read where you at.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 24.
Come on.
By faith, Moses, when he was come to years.
By what?
By faith.
Come on, man. Moses, number one, had faith. He knew who his creator was. He knew what he was. There's not too many coinkydinks and you know, little small showings of the Most High in your life. He recognized that, man.
And the reason why he recognized it is because the Most High from his youth was still, this is what made Moses the chosen. That Holy Spirit that was on Moses, he grew up with that spirit. That's why he never forgot about his people. Right? That's why when you look at that garbage ass movie, the you know, about the Exodus, Kings of Egypt, or the new one. I forgot the name of it, but Exodus, Kings of something like that. Yeah, they try to portray him as not a God-fearing man. They do that to all of the men, right? But it shows when you really look through the scriptures that look at everything the Most High took him through. That's why he was faithful, because he didn't panic, he didn't go crazy, he didn't lose his mind. Now, we could talk about Joseph the same way. We could talk about all these mighty Israelites the same way, like the characteristics they had, and they still were faithful. How many of us will go through those things for the Most High and stay pure, stay humble, stay meek, stay consistent, or will we lose it? Oh, the Most High is not with me. You know what I mean? Because I lost this, I lost my job, I lost this. Right? You see it too many times. They go through these Job conditions and then they lose their mind because there's no faith in them. So one of the characteristics that we were supposed to get from our forefathers is faith. We're supposed to understand that, oh, wow, that's something that lacks in Israelites. That's my problem. I lack in faith. So let me check myself. Let me look at myself. Let me look into myself and say, dang, every time I'm put in a situation that I can't see, like right there, let me be faithful and do what the scriptures say, and then the Most High will bless me.
Keep reading.
By faith, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter.
He did what?
Refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter.
Yeah, there was a point in time I was like, man, I'm done, man. Y'all can have this. I don't want to be called by your name because I already see what y'all do to my people. Moses is like, listen, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, man. Don't call me, what is it? Don't call me sir no more.
Right.
Don't call me that no more. Keep reading.
Choosing rather to suffer affliction.
Hold on, he did what?
Choosing rather to suffer affliction.
Who want to choose affliction? Who want to go from the Bentley to the mink sheets, silk satin sheets? Individuals washing you in the morning, bringing food to you, feeding you grapes,
right,
wine.
Yeah.
You got covering over the household. Right. Go from that to living in the gutter in the trenches with your people. Who chooses that? You ask anybody today.
A real brother.
Yeah.
A real brother chooses that.
Yeah.
That's who chooses it. Who doesn't? All the ones in Isaiah 30, he said, it said Isaiah 30, watch, go there real quick. Go to Isaiah 30. a real. Did you add that one?
No.
Go to Isaiah 30 and jump down to verse. Let's get straight to the point.
Verse 9.
Verse 9. No. No. Go to Isaiah 30. It's Isaiah 30. You can read verse 1. Read verse 1.
Isaiah 30, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Woe to the
Oh,
rebellious.
I'm sorry. It is 9. He's right. 9 and 10. Go ahead. Jump down to 9.
Verse 9. That this is a rebellious people.
Right.
Lying children.
Right.
Children that will not hear the law of the Lord.
The cowards, the sellouts, the rebellious, they ain't want to hear that. That's why it was Moses. Then you had Aaron. Then you had Joshua.
Yep. Caleb.
Right? You had Caleb. Right? But how many men is that?
4.
Think about that. 4 men out of the whole nation of Israel.
Gone.
You would be thinking, oh, bruh. That's why when you read in the scriptures about the multitude that followed Christ, but a multitude that left off,
Right.
it's like it wasn't what you thought it was, because it wasn't meant for everybody. Everybody wasn't going to step up. That's why the other scripture in Ezra says the world that is created
Oh yeah. Ooh.
is going to be for few. The world that's coming is for few.
Gone.
High Priest Yeshua checked me one time on that. He asked me, he said, how many people are going to die? I said, millions. He said, no, billions. He said, a drop to a wave is not 1 million people.
Gone.
He said, billions of people are going to die. And then I sat back and I thought about the scriptures and I said, damn, you're right. He said, as a grape to a cluster. So take all one grape and destroy the whole dang grape cluster that you grabbed.
Yep.
Right? As a drop to a wave, that's a lot of people.
Gone.
Why? Because those people are rare. The people in the scriptures are rare that the Most High is calling and wants and going to believe. 5 people we just counted. Moses, Aaron, right? Yeah, you had sisters there, women there too. But how many people made it into the kingdom? If you wanted to really get down to numbers, how many people from Moses and Aaron generation made it into the kingdom? 2. Because they didn't deserve it. So that shows us this. How many men were like Moses and Aaron? Right? Yep. Joshua and Caleb. Not a lot. Not a lot. That's why you got to look into yourself. Let a man examine himself and say, man, what man am I? When I put myself in this story, what guy am I? If I put myself during the time of Abraham, what man am I during the time of Adam, during the time of Joseph, right? And a lot of brothers, you got to be real with yourself, man. Like, if you complain about everything, murmur about everything, right? Cry about everything, you can't be corrected about it. Like, where do you fit? You think you was on the side with Moses, the humblest man on earth? Or were you the ones that were complaining and murmuring, and that's what the Israelites did, right? Man, you got to stop playing and put things in perspective. It's not a game. Like all of a sudden, if you was with Moses and Aaron, it would be different. No, you would be the same guys. Oh, when Yahushua come back, it's going to be different. Not if you don't change. People don't understand that it's you, your mind, that comes up with a lot of this negative. And that's what a lot of those Israelites were doing with Moses and Aaron. Right? Go ahead.
Keep reading.
Verse 10.
Yeah.
Which say to the seers, see not.
Yeah, those are the ones. They weren't up there. They didn't get into the kingdom. That's why there wasn't a lot of people like Moses. Because they were saying to Moses, man, nah.
That's too much, man.
You taking us out here, you're going to kill us. You're going to destroy us. We was better in Egypt.
Yeah.
You know what? Who gave you the power? Who made you the man? Why? Because a lot of those miracles that were happening, only Moses was going and talking back to the Most High. The whole nation wasn't.
No.
So they came up with stuff in their head. Well, he could have been talking to anybody back there. It could have been the Wizard of Oz behind that curtain.
Yeah.
Like, who knows? But it's funny, but that's how our people think. Like, man, he did all that smoke and thunder and lightning. It probably wasn't even really nothing up there.
Right. It wasn't real.
That's how niggas are.
It's like, bro, you didn't see the water part? We really walked through it.
Nah. Now that I think about it, there was something fishy about that.
Right.
It's like,
There wasn't no fish floating around.
then they start thinking like the white man. Oh, well, it was because the air, that wind that blew.
Oh, damn.
And, you see the History Channel explanation?
It was a salt that mixed in with that.
Right. It was the salt and then this and then they start. And you don't think our people were doing that? Hell yeah, they were doing it.
They had to, man.
Because they were faithless. And that's what a faithless man does. That's what a faithless woman does. Go ahead, read on.
And to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits.
Right. See, they want to hear deceits.
Yeah.
See, speak unto us what? Smooth things, right? Is that what it said? Speak unto us smooth things. Because when you come hard, when you check, when you correct, it's like you got there's a problem with me. You hate me. You dislike me. It's like, nah. It ain't no dislike. It's love. But that's what they were doing to Moses, to these men that stood up. But go ahead. I don't want to take it too off.
Oh, it's right on point. Go back to Acts, or go back to Hebrews. We're going to finish that up.
Yeah.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 25.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 25.
And I hope y'all definitely taking notes. It's going to be a part 2 to this, but we definitely going to get through it, though, a little bit. Keep on going.
Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High,
Right.
than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season.
Oh, beautiful. This is what Moses wanted to do, man. This is what was in Moses. But this is what the Most High loved about Moses and knew what was in his heart, man. Knew what was in his mind. He'd rather suffer affliction with his people than deal with the pleasures for a season. Pleasure of sin for a season. Because you knew they was doing all type of filthiness in Egypt. They said pleasure of sin, man. Whatever all the abominable acts that was going on. Read.
Esteeming the reproach of Christ greater riches than the treasures in Egypt.
Come on, man. Because they listen, they knew they had the prophecy. They knew what was coming down. But it says esteeming the reproach of Christ.
Now, there's a key there. There's a key. You see how that was written?
God.
First of all, Yahushua wasn't during that time.
Nope.
But Moses foreseeing,
Right.
the spiritual eye foreseeing, the spiritual man foreseeing what his Savior was. Right? What his job was and what it was going to be for the Savior to do. He's seen that. He's seen the example. But how many men can see that far ahead and take your household and your family and your people with you? You know what I mean? And carry them on your back and carry your nation. And that's what we're doing. The men of the Bible are rare. The righteous men and women through the four corners of the earth, standing up and doing this work daily, are rare. Go ahead.
Keep reading.
For he had respect unto the recompense of the reward.
Right. He had respect unto the recompense of the reward. Because he understood what he was getting himself into. He understood what was the end game.
Mm-hmm.
He had the book. He knew it. Read.
By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king.
By faith, he forsook Egypt, man. He forsook all the filthiness. He stood up. Listen, I'm going to fight for my people, even though they're not having faith in me. I'm going to still have faith in the Most High and what he has. Read.
For he endured as seeing him who was invisible.
Come on. He endured as seeing him who is invisible. Faith, man. That's what Moses had. It's beautiful. And our brothers and sisters, we need that, man. We got to be faithful in knowing that the Most High is leading us to the area that he wants us to be at. He's leading us out of the captivity of physical captivity, captivity of your mind, captivity of your spirit that you think. Nah, you need the spirit of the Most High, man. We're going to jump right down to Judges 3. Mm-hmm. Just showing a couple attributes of Moses. But I want to get into these judges, man. Judges chapter 3 and verse 1. Judges 3 and 1, because we know that if Moses had to deal with these disgruntled individuals, and after Joshua died, and after all the generation after him died, and then the generation that came up knew not God, what did these individuals have to deal with? Judges 3 and 1. Read that.
Judges chapter 3 verse 1.
Come on.
Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them.
They did what?
Prove Israel by them.
See, we got to see and understand the Most High's method in doing things. What is the Most High doing in our life? It says that he left nations around Israel. And I gotta hit this point. He left nations around Israel to prove us. To see what? Read.
Even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan.
Yeah. Whenever you go back on, actually jump down to verse 4.
Verse 4. And they were to prove Israel by them, to know whether they would hearken unto the commandments of the Lord.
Yeah, they left the nations there to see if Israel was going to hearken unto the commandments of the Most High or deal with that filthiness. Just like Moses, what did Moses choose to do? Moses chose to serve the Most High. But think about even you as a man, because Moses could have chose Egypt, but he didn't want that. He wanted what was promised, man. He wanted what was not seen but seen. He wanted that gift, but again, Moses is a rare one. But here is showing that the Most High put these nations around us to prove and to see how much more man. Go back to that Judith real quick. Go back to that Judith and 8. How much more a man and sisters? What is the Most High doing for you? Or what is he trying to show you? Judith 8. And jump down to that 20. You can start at 24 again. Yep, 24.
Judith 8, verse 24.
Come on.
Now therefore, O brethren, let us show an example to our brethren.
Right.
Because their hearts depend upon us.
Yeah, so Moses was this example. These gentlemen, these men and sisters that we're going to go into was an example. Read.
And the sanctuary, and the house.
Right.
And the altar rest upon us.
Come on.
Moreover, let us give thanks to the Lord our power.
Right.
Which trieth us.
He does what?
Trieth us.
Why do you think the Most High is trying us, man? He's trying to see what's within you. Just like he did our forefathers. Just like he did the Israelites. Our people. He was seeing what was in their mind. You got the laws. You got the commandments. What's more important to you? Is it the food? Is it the women? Is it the cars? Is it the clothes? What's more important? But as a leader, as this man of an example, he chose the Most High's route. He didn't choose the world's route. And that's what was different between these men that the Most High pulled out in these scriptures to show as examples than just average Israelites, man.
Yeah.
Average partakers, average, what do you want to call them? Caravan riders. what do you call them? Tailgaters. You just coming to the party. You looking on the outside. The game on the inside. You on the outside. You a tailgater, man. And that's how they going to be. Tailgaters. But he said he did this to try us. Read.
Even as he did our fathers.
Yeah, he did our fathers like that. Jump to 27.
For he hath not tried us in the fire as he did them. For the examination of their hearts.
For the what?
The examination of their hearts.
The Most High is seeing what's in your heart. He knew what was in these men's heart, Moses' heart. You got to ask yourself, what's in your heart? Are you being examined right now? Are you being tried? Are you going to apply the Bible? Or are you going to run? You're going to act like a heathen man. Act like a heathen sister. You're going to act like an alien, like you don't know nothing. The Most High was doing these things purposely. That's why we got to read these scriptures and stories slowly and get a real grasp of what the Most High is doing here. This ain't no game. This ain't Monopoly. Jump 3 and go past go. No, you better save a little bit of that money. You better make sure you're making the right moves because the Most High is proving us, man. Keep reading.
Neither hath he taken vengeance on us.
That's it on that. Jump back to that verse 3 and 4. Judges chapter 3 and verse 4. Just showing that the Most High was proving us. Keep reading.
Judges chapter 3, verse 4. And they were to prove Israel by them, to know whether they would hearken unto the commandments of the Lord, which he commanded their fathers by the hand of Moses.
So what happened? Come on.
And the children of Israel dwelt among the Canaanites, Hittites, and Amorites, and Perizzites, and Hivites,
right?
And Jebusites.
If you deal with these nations, these are all Hamitic nations, man. These are all Canaanite nations. These are all individuals. These are heathen nations, man, that dealt with all types of other gods, witchcraft, sodomy, all the foolishness. Read.
And they took their daughters to be their wives.
Yeah, so obviously we weren't applying the Most High's laws here as a nation. As a nation, we weren't applying the Most High's laws in our life. Read.
And gave their daughters to their sons.
Yeah, but we were marrying their daughters, giving our sons to their daughters. Read.
And served their gods.
Yeah, and did what?
Served their gods.
But remember, the Most High said he put those nations around us to prove us. But we failed. So what happened? Come on.
And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord.
Read.
And forgot the Lord their power.
Right.
And served Baalim and the groves.
Right. Served Balaam in the groves. Served other gods and the things that they had going on out there. Read.
Therefore the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel.
Yeah, the anger. The Most High was like, bro, I'm tired of y'all, man. Y'all continually trying to run off and whore, commit adultery upon me. What'd he do? Read.
And he sold them into the hand of Shushan Rishathaim.
Right, Shushan Rishathaim, right?
King of Mesopotamia.
Yeah, he sold us to Mesopotamia, the king of Mesopotamia. He gave us up like a father would, man. All right, you know what, man? Let me go ahead and spank you real quick. You about to go in timeout. He put us in timeout because we was disobeying what he was saying. But for how long? Read.
And the children of Israel, he sold them to the hand of Shushan Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia. And the children of Israel served Shushan Rishathaim 8 years.
Yeah, we served 8 years in this captivity. We served 8 years. Read.
And when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord raised up a deliverer.
They did what?
Raised up a deliverer.
Yeah, it says when. It took 8 years for Israel to cry about being sold into captivity. Think about that. It take you 8 years to get whooped. You're not in your land. You're being sold in captivity for 8 years. And you finally got comfortable, and then you got uncomfortable. It was like, we're ready to go. Let's cry to the Most High. And what did the Most High do? He did what? Read that again.
Raised up a deliverer to the children of Israel.
The Most High raised up a deliverer, man. He was like, you know what? I hear my children's cry. The Most High is long suffering, man. He's long suffering because we're going to see all these different years of captivity we were under. Remember, y'all need to write this down. We were under 430 years under the Egyptian captivity. We were under 8 years under the captivity in Mesopotamia. We cried after 8 years for help. Because why? We probably wasn't getting the things that we wanted. They probably were doing taxes, doing wicked things to us, but that's what you wanted. You was cool with it about 8 years ago. But now I have to bring somebody to show you what the standard is, the example again is, because you must have forgot. And it was Othaniel. Read.
Who delivered them, even Othaniel, the son of Kenaz.
Right.
Caleb's younger brother.
Yeah, so the Most High raised up a deliverer. Raised up an individual that was going to take them out of their circumstance. Read.
And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him.
And the what?
The Spirit of the Lord came upon him.
And that's how you know the Most High was with this individual, man. Just like the Most High was with Moses that they rejected. But it says the Spirit of the Lord was upon Othaniel. Read.
And he judged Israel.
Right.
And went out to war.
He did what?
Went out to war.
Yeah, Othaniel was like, listen, we're about to handle this business. The Most High Spirit upon me. I understand what I got to do. I'm going to be that standard because what's going on ain't right, man. This ain't right. I'm done with this. It was almost like he's like the Planet of the Apes, Caesar. We got to rebel against this, man. We got to rise up against this nation we're underneath. One man.
Yep.
Come on, Caesar was running everything. Othniel was running everything. It's time to go to war. I'm tired of being in the land of Mesopotamia as a slave. Read.
And the Lord delivered Tushan-Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia, into his hand.
Right.
And his hand prevailed against Tushan-Rishathaim. And the land had rest for 40 years.
Right. So this showing that the Most High was with this deliverer, man. And the land had rest for 40 years. But how did the land have rest for 40 years?
One man stepping up in the spirit. The spirit was on him.
Yep.
And the Most High strengthened his hand.
Come. And he judged the Most High standard. It wasn't his standard.
Yeah.
The land had 40 years of rest because of the statutes that Othniel brought to Israel again. Bro, listen, wake up, y'all. This is what we got to do here. They had a rest for 40 years. But we know Israel. Keep reading. What happened?
And Othniel, the son of Kenaz, died.
So he died. Othniel died. Israel is hilarious, man. Very bipolar. Schizophrenic. You got all these issues, mental issues. It wasn't nothing but 40 years ago. You don't forgot already? You got to get whooped up again? Read where you at.
Verse 12. And the children of Israel did evil again.
Oh, here we go again. These Negroes doing evil again. Like, bro, is it really that serious? You really got to hit those tarot cards? You really got to hit the doja like that? The ganja? You really got to be disrespectful like that? You really got to blaspheme the name of the Most High like that? It says they did evil in the eyes of the Most High again. We're going to start adding up these years of captivity, man, we've been underneath. Let's do it. 430 plus 8. Somebody get that to me. 438 years. Okay. 438 years right now we've been in captivity. And these cats are still messing up. It's like I was thinking about it when I put this together. The movie Cloud Atlas. At the end, whenever old boy was sitting down with his grandchildren, telling them about the stories about the past, and you think about it, you're like, they didn't tell stories? Like, y'all, I know they got those stories of when they came out of Egypt, of what the Most High did for them, like the captivities that they were in, the slavery, but they still wanted to turn to evil. But it just shows where their mind was at. And it shows that rather than suffering affliction with the righteous, they rather do wickedness. They rather do pleasures of the flesh, pleasures of what they want to do. Mm-hmm. They didn't want to stand up for righteousness and hold on to their faith. Mm-hmm. They wanted to do what was easy and what everybody else was doing around them.
Yeah, and we were really, when you look at how long we were in Egypt under the captivity, it was only about 80 years. Mm. It was 80 years. Remember, Joseph was in Egypt ruling.
Right.
Okay? And then the other king came in. So that prophecy of the 400 years was looking for the captivity we're in now. All right? Just time period wise. You know, but yeah, it was about 80 years. But still, that's a long dang time. But if you want to put dates on it, when you think about America, right? Okay, so we've been in slavery over 400 years, right? Okay, but when you look at it, when did the white man start conquering us? See, we go from 1620, right? Being the official start of the slave trade, right?
Right.
1620, 1970 is 350 years. Right? Now, we've been past that. Right? It's past that now. It's finna be 2020. We still here. But when did they first land and start whooping us?
What, 722? When Israel got over there?
No,
Oh,
no.
you're talking about America?
I'm talking about like when you look at the Spanish
Oh, right.
Spanish conquistadors when they land on the islands.
1773?
Bro, no, the 1500s.
You know, it's supposed to say you got
Yeah.
What book is that?
documents of the West Indian history that goes into like has like all of the letters that Columbus or his name was
Yeah.
Colon.
Yeah.
He was writing to like
The
Queen of
Queen
England,
of
and King
England,
of England.
Right.
Yeah.
Ferdinand. Yeah.
Ferdinand. I think it was like
It was like 15. It was like the 1500s.
It was the 1500s.
It was the 1500s when they started slaughtering us.
Actually, 14. Late 1400s.
There you go. Like think about that. That time period, like all the way to now, it's still been over 400 years.
Right.
You know, and I'm not. I know we're thinking of the official slavery,
Right.
right? Okay, because you know, remember there was an official time, but we've been getting our ass whooped by Esau since
Oh, yeah.
since when? Now, right? Since all the way since
Dang.
since the 1500s, right?
Con.
The Spanish, right? But who was whooping us in 70 AD?
Esau.
So the Greeks came into rule 227, right?
Con.
You're talking about, think how long Esau has been ruling. Now we know he's been ruling under his different names, but it's been a long rule for this demon. And it's been a long slavery. We've been slaved under the Greeks, the Romans, Esau, the Edomite people for how long?
Yeah.
It didn't change in the 1500s, right? It's still Esau under the Spanish, right? Now you could get a little argument there that some of those were our people, putting our own people into slavery, because there were still black kings ruling during that time, right? We'll talk about that on another topic, but it was still all this time. It was Esau putting us down. So we've been ruled by this man for a long time.
Con.
Still not out of captivity. That's a long punishment, man.
Oh, yeah. Well,
That's a long time to be punished.
Yeah.
Like 80 years, that ain't nothing.
yeah.
That's one person's lifespan. You're talking about over 400 years?
Yeah.
Over 400 years. That's a long time.
Oh, yeah. And it shows that the Most High will send a deliverer when we cry to him.
Right. The whole time.
You know, and, you can think about it now. Just our people as a whole. Ain't nobody crying to the Most High. They crying to Baal. They crying to the Ouija board. They crying to, do as thou wilt thyself. So our people, their mind states is not focused on the Most High. They forgot the Most High.
And I don't want to take it off your topic, but you can see how when the Most High put that curse in Deuteronomy the 28, all the way through to us falling after that, like it's been concurrent all the way through the whole centuries that we've been in captivity or slavery. Let's look at that. Not under the white man, but we've been in captivity ever since Moses said, "This is the path, choose ye this day, die for life or death."
Yeah.
We've been in slavery ever since. That is an ass whooping beyond. We only talk about the Edomite ass whooping,
Yeah.
right? And we focus on that.
Because there's multiple different nations, the Mesopotamia, Moabites.
Exactly. We've been in
Philistines, Canaan.
captivity, brother.
Yeah.
And our people are still not tired of this. Well, going back to your point, there's a certain elect that ain't tired,
Remnant, right?
and there's a certain elect that are tired, that can see this and look at this.
Con.
But go ahead. I didn't want to take it off your point, but just
it's right on
thinking
point.
about this, when you put the time perspective is,
Right?
Jesus.
Those eliminations.
Go ahead.
Where you at?
Yeah.
Verse 12, second precept.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab, against Israel.
Hold on. The Lord did what?
Strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab.
Because Israel didn't get it yet. Israel still didn't get it. Or they got it and they forgot it. So he strengthened Eglon. Read.
Because they had done evil in the sight of the Lord.
Yeah, this is a Moabite king. This is another captivity we went underneath. Read.
And he gathered unto him the children of Ammon and Amalek, and went and smote Israel, and possessed the city of palm trees.
Yeah, the Most High knew exactly what it was going to take to subdue Israel. Got a couple other nations to go ahead and to put us back into captivity due to the fact of not adhering to his word and not listening to his judges, man. Not listening to the righteous men. They were doing what they wanted to do, going their route. Stiff-necked, hard-headed, just like our people, man. Our people really think that we're doing something right because we can pay our rent, barely pay your light bill, ride in the car. That ain't living, man. And the Most High is showing us that our mind state is keeping us in captivity.
Could I get one? Go to Romans. One of my favorite ones. Go to Romans 11. This is a constant reminder. And I go here because we know it's in the Old Testament, but I like this one in the New Testament because it shows exactly still how our people are. Romans 11 and 9 and 10.
Romans chapter 11, verse 9.
Go ahead.
And David said, let their table be made a snare and a trap.
Right, and that's what it has been. Everything, all the knowledge that we've been consuming over this whole periods of times has been a trap. Your Egyptology, that ain't done nothing for you.
Nope.
Muslim, that ain't done nothing for you. Right? Christianity ain't done nothing for you.
Right.
Everything we've been consuming in this kingdom, it's been a trap for us. Right. And then now let's throw in, because you've been talking about it, but we don't think about it like this. The so-called white man strive and fight to have the American dream. That's a religion too.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? The religion of I got to get rich or die trying and live like Esau, right? That's been the whole goal too. We've been eating that up, and guess what that's been doing? You know what I mean? They told you, oh, vote. It ain't work. Oh, get a job, get your degree, go to college, go to school. Look, you're going to be set aside and be treated different. Yep. That doesn't work. You're still a nigga at the end of the day. Oh, yeah. Right? Even Jay-Z said it. Right? Yep. He got the billions. Him and his rib make billions. Still niggas. And they still niggas. He knows that. Yep. See, so that ain't done it. Right? Go ahead.
And a stumbling block.
Right? And so everything we've been consuming is a stumbling block. It's been our downfall. We fall even more. Go ahead.
And they recompense unto them.
Right? Read.
Let their eyes be darkened.
Right?
That they may not see.
Right? And that's what's happening. Our people still in the year 2020 flying cars, robot cars, you know what I mean? AI and all this. We're still blind. It's the year 2020. And I'm saying that in a way like, Yahweh, when are you going to come back? Like, when is this going to be over? But go ahead.
And bow down their neck, their back always.
That's what Israelites want to keep doing. Yep. They want to just work. Bruh, Khan, I hear all that. I hear what you're saying, Ak. Good Bible lesson. You know what I mean? Black power.
I gotta go home.
Brown pride, Ak. But I gotta go to work in the morning. It's like that's our own goal. It's like, as long as I got a job, I'm good. But that shows you the blindness of our people. Yep. That it's just about a job and then their comfort is good. Man, we got to think about it. We got to think about it, man. The jobs ain't save us. And I'm not saying nobody's going to have a job. Everybody's going to be living on the street. Don't go get an education. Don't brush your teeth. What I'm saying is that seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High. Am I investing into the kingdom, into his will, right? Instead of I'm working and then I'm part-time kingdom. That's what we have to see. Right. Or else you're just going to be that guy that just what? Bend over his back daily. Quantazat was talking about it the other day. He was saying it. He was saying the same thing about like, and everybody was actually saying it. online
getting up and stuff
about
like
getting
that?
extra like
sleep?
Yeah, no extra sleep, but extra
Yeah, sleep till
extra time working. What is it called?
Overtime.
Overtime. Yeah.
Right.
Like I gotta get overtime. It's like, damn, bro, you do overtime for Esau and overtime.
Thank God your money, man.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. It's saying it right here. Their eyes will be darkened. They'll be blinded. And the only thing that's in their mind is that bending over their back.
Yep.
No homo.
Gotta get that.
You know what I mean? That's all the focus on. And we think it's all about, if I don't get paid, then I'm not going to survive. The Most High never left the righteous begging for bread.
God.
But that's it. Go ahead. You go. Yeah. What you get?
Where you at?
Judges chapter 3 and verse 13.
Uh-huh.
And he gathered unto him the children of Ammon and Amalek, and went and smote Israel, and possessed the city of palm trees.
Right.
So the children of Israel served Eglon, the king of Moab, 18 years.
Ooh, served them how long?
18 years.
Come on, we went in captivity again another 18 years. 18 years. It's crazy, man. Some of y'all, brothers and sisters been on child support. You know how that feels. 18 years. No, for real though. But it just shows that it's the same thing, man. Our people kept going back into this negative zone, man. Negative mind state. We love the creature more than the creator, man.
Yeah.
We love financial. We love the flesh. We love how, we want to feel comfortable via the carnal rather than comfortable in the spirit, man. And that was our people's problem. Read where you at.
Verse 15.
Uh-huh.
But when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord.
They did what again?
Cried unto the Lord.
How many of y'all got butt naked and start crying on the floor, man? Praying to the Most High. You was crying on your knees, man. Oh, yeah,
Then when you got in the truth, you said, huh?
Right.
Wait a minute, that ain't the truth, Hawk. It's like, what?
You was just crying, Hawk, to stop it. I know you was on your
Yo,
knees.
please bring something in my life.
Yeah,
Change
man.
it.
Every time.
Bro, that'd be the funniest.
You might have threw out some tongues. Holla shalom, but like, man, stop.
You don't know how many brothers and sisters come with that. And I try to look at them in the face like, okay, I feel you. But it be like, niggas be lying.
Right.
Because the first time it'd be like, man, you know what? I prayed for y'all.
Right.
I prayed to see y'all. It's like, kinda.
Right.
You prayed to get the truth.
Yep.
You prayed to get the knowledge. Now that you got it, your little pride is going to throw everything off. Your ego.
Yep.
Your little selfishness. It's like, it's sad. But, I'm thinking about this time, how you just showed me all those dates. We literally been in captivity, man,
Oh, yeah.
since Egypt.
Oh, come on. Yep.
Since Egypt, we've been in slavery. We only have 40 years of peace.
And that's just a couple. That's not even dealing with the
Real peace.
Assyrian. Yeah.
We only have 40 years of real peace.
That was with Solomon.
Solomon.
Yep.
Like, we haven't even really lived as a nation. We haven't really lived as a nation, man. Yeah, there was some when you go through Kings here and there, but it wasn't long.
It's like a ratchet kid going from foster parent to foster parent.
Yep.
They wasn't good with them, crying. He touched me. Yeah, we got to get you out of there.
Yep.
On to the next. Honey, they don't like me. On to the next. Foster kids, man.
That's a punishment, man. And
Oh, yeah.
And then I think about Esau. Like Esau and these nations thinking they're gonna get away with it. It's like the Most High punished us like that. Jesus.
Oh, 7 times.
7 times over, he's finna get these nations. But go ahead, let's finish it up. Mark.
Where you at?
But when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord raised them up a deliverer.
And I'm going to just pull something. Give me Psalms 50 and 15 real quick. Just off that. Psalms 50 and verse 15. Just showing y'all. You keep hearing that the children of Israel cried unto the Most High. And he delivered them a deliverer.
Right.
He sent them a deliverer. But why? The Most High is not bipolar, man. The Most High said he'll do something. He's going to do that. The Most High said, listen, you my people. I'm not going to forsake you. I'm going to come and get you, man. How much us ourselves?
Yeah.
Shoot. Somebody do us wrong, shit, we forget about you, man. Hold grudges forever.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But the Most High was merciful even in our wickedness, even in our filth. Read.
Psalm chapter 50, verse 15. And call upon me in the day of trouble.
The Most High said, do what?
Call upon me in the day of trouble.
Yeah, he said, listen, all I do is want you to call me. That's all he wanted us to do, man. Call him in our day of trouble. And the thing about it didn't have to be trouble. We could have had it smoothly. We could have had everything. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. If you do these laws, you'll be above all nations. We don't have to worry about this. But the Most High put in some clauses and put in some, if this does happen, follow this. Here's the note, follow this. I'll come and get you. Throw up the little flare stick in the sky. I know where you're at. I'll come and get you. The Most High said, call upon me, read.
I will deliver thee.
He will do what?
I will deliver thee.
Think about that. Oh my God. You might have church right now, man. Come on. He said, call upon me. I will deliver thee, read.
And thou shalt glorify me.
Come on. Because the Most High wants that. Because he is the power. But he respects your attention, not everybody else's attention. The scripture says everybody else was born in vanity. The other people was as nothing. But the children of Israel, he hears your cries. He hears your moaning and groanings. The Most High said, just call upon me in your trouble, man. Jump back to that Judges, just to put that there. Because we keep hearing the children of Israel cry to the Most High and he delivered them. The children of the Most High cried and he delivered them over and over. How much more we should be literally... Go to
Can I get one?
Oh yeah.
Just on what you're saying about the deliverers, because that's the main focal